all jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm one rest for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I'll tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, sin and curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I didn't. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fail. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like Van Pelt, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. Or if you take that oath, it's a Dundee. Try to deal death to a priest, you won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand, just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. So how you feel about this truth I done shown you? This ain't the life you think, little nigga, I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it goes by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. And pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, that's all I don't. Either fold or salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga, I should want. Even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah.
What you bought? You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas. Yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my I can gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth, this shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. All them pussy niggas talk the shit, y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. How you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood, I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them, I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
JT on the track.
All right, let's clap it up. Shalom Israel with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. It's the Wednesday night law class where we do what your Christian pastors have been ill-equipped to do for, since the inception of the Christian church. Which is give blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the tools that they actually need to get out of this hell. We look around and we wonder why, things are the way that we are. We under these so-called generational curses, right? That's what black, Hispanics, and Native Americans say. That, the reason why we in such a destitute condition in this earth, why we got such evil and wicked things happening to us. To us, we look at it as if it's just by chance, because again, another thing that's to blame to the Christian church, where they pacified us to where every time your oppressor, oppresses you, every time your oppressor does what a devil does what a liar and a deceiver does, take your lives by the hundreds, by the hands of the police force or the military or just some oppressor with a gun, every time your oppressor shows you who they are, we think it's just bad people. We look at it as if it's just by chance that this unfortunate thing just so happened to us, and then there's nobody to blame, there's no solution for it, and it's unfortunate. And then that line of thinking makes us do evil things. Because we like, oh well, when I was growing up, somebody kicked in my door, or when I was growing up, my father left me. When I was growing up, my mother abused me. So guess what we do? We grow up and become cruel and heartless and start doing the same thing to one another. And we just call it life. We just like, that's just how it is. But the reason for that is because of your Christian church. Because they refuse the truth. The answer is right here in the Bible. It always has been. And it's been in most black, Hispanic, and Native American houses. Just sitting on that mantelpiece collecting dust. But the answer's been right here since the beginning. Like the scriptures say, things written aforetime are written for our learning. But we look at this Bible through the lens of the indoctrination that we was given by the Christian church. And what's so heavy, yesterday, shout out Officer Tapazar, he said something heavy. He said, before we even read the Bible, we learn Christianity. Before we even, open the Bible up and see what it actually says in there, we're indoctrinated with Christianity. So you learn that God loves everybody and Christ died for everybody, none of which are true. So anytime your oppressor takes your life, anytime your oppressor mass incarcerates you, and writes legislation to have the police be extra cruel to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans like Donald Trump did, or mass deport and take away DEI, which is supposed to be some sort of what can I say? What can I call it? It's supposed to be some sort of band-aid solution for the 400 years of captivity that we've been in America. But they remove they remove DEI, they mass incarcerate and mass deport blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They even though the Native Americans are in on reservations, you know what I mean, living these destitute lives, living these rough lives in these poor conditions, they go to them reservations and make it worse for them. You know what I mean? Run pipelines through they land, give them the worst land, so where they can't even grow crops that they once was able to before colonization. You know what I mean? And that's, you know what I mean, that's not even a mention of the can't say the can't say what I want to say. The trafficking of our young brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, into heinous industries. Right? That's not even a mention that. But every time all of those things happen, we just got to take it on the chin and march and sing and dance, because your Christian pastors, before you even read the Bible, your Christian pastors taught you Christianity and indoctrinated with you with a lie that says God loves everybody. So you feel like you got to love everybody. But the reality is you got an enemy. The reality is the reason why our enemy is able to rule over us is because we're not following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why it's such an evil thing that your Christian pastors will tell you that the law is done away with. Even if you have the sincerity, even try to follow the law, they'll try to make it seem like you evil. But you evil for trying to follow the law. But you know what I mean, all of those things that we go through, when you look at your life and you see that you don't have a father in your household, when your mother, you know what I mean, lives a certain promiscuous lifestyle, or you know what I mean, uh all the things that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go through. You live in these neighborhoods where you grow up with roaches and rats and all these different pests in your household. You ain't got no food or resources. You know what I mean? You got your oppressor to blame for that. You got your Christian church, who is the arm of your oppressor. You know what I mean? But tonight we gonna topic for tonight is we gonna talk about how to choose a wife and how to choose a husband. All right. If you got any questions or comments related to the law, you go ahead and put them in the chat, or if you got a question in the room, you go ahead and raise your hand. What you got?
I have a question about the book of First Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11.
I think we're about to get into that. I think, yeah. First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11. Oh, you go ahead, go to it. If you got any questions or anything in the chat, you go ahead and put them in the chat. Preferably related to the law. If not, if we got time at the end, we'll get to any questions that's off topic or off of the topic of the law at the end. All right, go ahead read what you got, Salaki.
The book of First Timothy, chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Right. Is that the only one that you wanted to break? Okay, go ahead.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Right. So, okay. You understand? Did you have a specific question on this?
Make sure this like just like towards like women preachers and ministers or whatever they want to call themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is talking about. This is exactly what this is talking about. Like and that's you know what I mean, that goes right into the topic, because you looking at Christian church, that Christian church is upside down. I believe TD Jakes a couple maybe a year or so ago, he surrendered his church to his daughter. And now she about to be, you know what I mean, now she running the Christian church. And you see that a lot. You see that a lot in the in Christian churches today, where you might have a male figure behind the podium, but that Christian church is ran by women. You know what I mean? That Christian church creates monsters out of our women. Everything in that Christian church revolves around women. There's another scripture. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Salakia. Let me find it real quick. Let me get Isaiah 3 and 12. You can and we gonna go back to that in a second. That First Timothy that you just asked about. But this is to illustrate what goes on in that Christian church. You can read it when you got it.
Kind of one con. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
And women rule over them. All right. So as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. So who is the my people? If children rule over them, and women are the or children are their oppressors and women rule over them, then who are my people? If anybody you was about to answer? All right, give it about 2 seconds. I just want to see if any. As a matter of fact, you go ahead and answer it just for time's sake. Anybody in the chat as well, if you got any any comments or answers, anything throughout the class, go ahead and put them in the chat. I mean, let's get some participation. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel as well. Push this truth. You know what I mean? Send it to your family, your relatives, I mean, your loved ones, so that they can be in class as well. And if you disagree and you want to, you know what I mean, if you're a heckler online and you disagree, send it to your, you know what I mean, your peoples as well. So, you know what I mean, if you got any questions, any silly comments or anything like that, we can address those as well. Go ahead, Slacky.
The my people to be us, the Native Americans, Hispanics, and so-called African Americans.
Okay, you was about to say something? Oh, go ahead. Could I answer? Oh, please, yeah.
The my people is the men.
Yeah, give them a hand. You know what I mean? Like the scriptures say, the flock of the Most High's pasture are men. I mean, that's you know what I mean. The Most High has always dealt with the men. You know what I mean? And the men are supposed to be the leaders of the nation who are supposed to implement and keep the law and teach. You know what I mean? And the sisters, like it says, and I believe it's 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, where it says, the man is the head of the woman. The woman is the Christ is the head of the man, and the head of the Most High, or the head of Christ is the Most High. You know what I mean? But when in any relationship that you see, or in any especially in any relationship between like men or women in the Christian church, they'll try to make everybody equal. That's why you seeing, like you mentioned before, these female pastors. You know what I mean? Because we try to make the woman equal to the man. And that's not to say that a woman can't, you know what I mean, ask questions. You know what I mean? As sisters ask questions all the time. It's encouraged. You know what I mean, because we in hell, they gotta understand the law just like we do. Like the scriptures say, you know what I mean, there's neither male nor female, Greek nor Jew. You know what I mean, but all are one, meaning we all got the same responsibility to keep these laws and uphold our culture so we can get up out of this hell. You know what I mean? Women are no less responsible for keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and understanding our culture so that she could teach it to the children. You know what I mean? So we encourage asking questions, especially if you don't have a husband, or if you or whatever, or you coming out the world, or whatever the case is. You can ask your questions so that you can understand your culture. But what you're not allowed to do, sisters, is teach. You're not allowed to open your own church. You're not allowed to, you know what I mean, you're not allowed to become a priest. You're not allowed to, you know what I mean, that's why we don't have rank amongst our sisters. You know what I mean, as a matter of fact, since we on the topic, let's get Book of Titus chapter 2 real quick. But that addressed your question, right?
Another one, sir.
All right, no sweat.
The book of Titus chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
But speak the things which become sound doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience.
See, this goes into the topic as well. You know what I mean? This goes into what the brother was just talking about in a second ago, where this is the type of, well, actually skip down to 3 real quick, just so I could piggyback off of what you said a second ago.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3. The aged woman likewise.
So this is talking about the aged woman. So what we was talking about a second ago, where it said, what was it in in First Timothy, where it said, "Let the woman learn in silence without suggestion of subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach." A woman is she's not allowed to teach men, but she's allowed to teach somebody. You know what I mean, we're gonna find out who she is allowed to teach. Go ahead.
The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
So what we was talking about a second ago, with neither where it said neither Greek nor Jew, neither male nor female, neither bond or free, but all are one in Christ. That's what this is talking about. So a second ago when we read verse 2, it said the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, and in charity, and patient. You know what I mean? Those are the qualities of the men, or those are the qualities of how we should be. I mean, especially if you're older, more seasoned brother. You know what I mean? You should especially, you know what I mean, have these qualities. And verse 3, read it from the top again, Baba Shah.
The aged woman likewise.
And what?
The aged woman likewise.
Likewise. So it's not, you know what I mean, just because you a sister, just because you a female, does not exonerate you from the responsibility to have understanding and wisdom and to not be foolish. You know what I mean? Like you see it all the time. You see it a lot where I mean you see this what's it called? This Diddy case with I mean Cassie and Diddy, you know what I mean? Whenever you see or I'll give you another one. What's his name? Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. I had another one in mind too, but if I think of it later, I'll bring it up. But what you see a lot of times when these sisters get into these relationships that end up being abusive in some way, or you know what I mean, a sister might have some children by a man, and then now she's a single father or the single mother. Salakia, she's a single mother. The story is usually the same. Where it's like, oh, I just didn't know. I didn't realize, or it was just, he just flipped and he just, oh, what's another one? The General Muhammad hate when a sister say, oh, I was just being stupid. Yeah, you don't have just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you have you know what I mean, the privilege to just be stupid. You're not allowed to do that. You know what I mean, it's saying it right here. The aged woman likewise, meaning just like a man has to be wise, a man has to be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith. We're going to go over those in a second. But the same way a man has to have these qualities, a woman got to have these qualities too. Go ahead. So the aged woman likewise, go ahead.
That they be in behavior as becoming holiness.
As becoming holiness. See, holiness ain't that, you know what I mean, your auntie and your grandmother wearing that pantsuit or that dress and that big old hat in that church beating the tambourine. That's not what holiness is. And the Christian church has polluted that word so much, we don't even understand what holiness is. Holiness just means separate, meaning you can't be like everybody else. You can't be like everybody else. You can't be like, you know what I mean? You for damn sure you can't be like these other nations, right, that's eating anything that they can get their hands on, or they you know what I mean, they assaulting whatever they could get their hands on, men, women, and children. You know what I mean? Or they you know what I mean, abusing their kids, or they neglecting, you know what I mean? They try to paint black fathers as, you know what I mean, terrible parents. There is no worse parent than a white father. Right. There is no worse parent than your oppressor running his family. You know what I mean? That's why you grow up or that's why they grow up and they become Dylan Roof. They become what was that Edomite name that shot up that grocery store in Buffalo, New York? That 18-year-old boy. They grow up to be like that. They grow up to be, you know what I mean, these psychopaths, because your white fathers, despite the jealousy and the envy and the desire that we have to be like our oppressor, there's no worse parent than your oppressor. But Slack, you go ahead and read on it. So we gotta be separate. You sisters, you gotta be separate too. Go ahead. And you show that you separate by your behavior. Like it says in Deuteronomy, I believe the seventh, I believe it's the fourth chapter or the seventh chapter. I can't remember which one, but it says, keep therefore and do these laws, statutes, commandments, for this is your wisdom in the sight of the waters. This is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. So to show that you are separate, to show that you are holy, you show it through your behavior by what you do and what you don't do. You know what I mean? You learn what to do and what not to do through these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, go ahead, read on.
Not false accusers.
Not what?
Not false accusers.
Hey, so you can't put that baby daddy on. You can't put your baby daddy on child support, and then 18 years later you find out that ain't the father of your children. You know what I mean? You can't cry out that you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can't be a false accuser. You can't claim, you can't beat the. I saw a story. I don't think it was a recent story. It was a couple years ago, but it was a story about a football player, right? That that he flatlined in the hospital twice because his wife, his name is Terrell something. I can't remember what his name is, but he flatlined twice in the hospital because his ribs stabbed him in the chest, and he you know what I mean, he dropped the charges and all of that, tried to get her sentence reduced as much as possible. And then later down the line, he ended up, you know, it didn't really give any context on like what happened, but he ended up throwing a pumpkin at her, and of course he went to jail. But what happens a lot, you know what I mean, in these domestic violence issues, which again, you know what I mean, Most High in Christ, in the ISUBK under Commander General Yohana, you can come in here and get counsel. You can come in here and get the, you know what I mean, the guidance and the wisdom that you need so that these things don't even happen, because that situation shouldn't even went that far, first of all. And if that brother had any damn sense in his head, he would have left that woman after, you know what I mean, he flatlined twice on the table. He should have just left that woman alone. You know what I mean? We don't know how to choose women. We don't know how to choose a woman. We don't know how to choose the mother of our children. You know what I mean? So the brother went back to her, and now he in jail because, you know what I mean, enough is enough. You know what I mean? You only get stabbed so many times. You can only almost lose your life so many times before. And of course, I'm not saying that what the brother did was correct. What he did was absolutely wrong. And you know what I mean? It should be some sort of retaliation or some sort of you know what I mean, punishment for, you know what I mean, if you assault a woman in any way. But you know what I mean, dealing with the wrong person, that's what happens. That's just what happens, and it happens to us often, where we end up on child support, we end up in jail. You know what I mean? We end up having our children taken away from us. You know what I mean? Because you're dealing with this evil woman, and that you know what I mean, you met her in the club and wonder why she alcoholic, because she was in the club knocking them drinks back. You know what I mean? Right. That's how you found her. You found her on the dance floor in the you know what I mean, throwing it in a circle, and you wonder why she what's the word? A promiscuous woman. It's, you know what I mean, it's right there in your face, and it's right here in this Bible. Slacker, you could go ahead and read on. So not false accusers. You know what I mean? You can't be lying on your husband. Can't be making up these stories. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Not giving too much wine.
You can't be an alcoholic, sis. You know what I mean? You can't be an alcoholic, sis. No matter you just can't. That's simply put. Go ahead.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of good things. Teachers of what you was taught in, you know what I mean, in the Bible. Teaching what you was taught by the men who was trained in the Bible. You know what I mean? What these brothers learn in the ISUBK, they'll teach you. You know what I mean? You come to class, you do your 90 days, you know what I mean? If you got a husband, you know what I mean, especially if you got a, you know what I mean, if you got a husband up in here, he's gonna teach you the truth according to he's gonna teach you how to be a good mother, a good wife. He's gonna teach you what to feed the kids, what not to feed the kids, how to treat the kids. I mean, because a lot of times we have children and just become, because having children can be tedious. It could be stressful. You know what I mean? They do some crazy stuff, and the stress of being a parent, the stress of being a mother. You know what I mean? A lot of times it could turn our sisters and turn our brothers into monsters, and we become monsters toward the children. Or because you was raised in abuse, now you abuse your children because that's how you was raised. I mean, which is another thing. I don't know if y'all brothers have heard this as well, but you know what I mean, when a mother abuses their children, the first thing that they say is, "Oh, this is what my mama did. This is how my mother raised me." You know what I mean? And this is how my grandmother raised my mother. I mean, we passed down that abuse because that's just what we was taught. But you gotta be a teacher of good things. You learn all of that in here. It's like, go ahead, read on.
Verse 4.
Salaki.
Oh, please, sir.
Yeah, all they say they do it because they love you. You understand?
Con.
Like that be the craziest thing. Like you basically abusing me literally with Hot Wheel race car tracks
Good night.
with belts with spikes on them, and you do this out of love.
Right.
You know, like so. You know, I just wanted these parents to understand. You know, we're not saying that. You know, well, we're not saying that you can't spank your child. We can't. We're not saying that. You know, what we doing is chastise us in a loving manner, without the abuse.
Right.
You know, we don't need to be put in a tub with when I come in there and smell alcohol in it, and then I got you running behind me, beating me with the metal part of the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
Like it's like certain things you can do and how to do it. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that. Hey, some kids I believe do need some spanking and understanding,
Right.
but not no beating and understanding. You understand me?
Right.
Like I just feel like the way that people choose when or how to discipline their children is the reason why the earth is the way the earth is today. Because, like you say, it's lack of brotherhood from the husband to the wives. Because before that woman became your wife, she was your sister, and you negate those relationships because now you're married. And my thing is, if we had more compassion for one another, these situations of abuse wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And I just
Right.
feel like, and what you said is generational. I don't want to hear that what happened to you.
Right.
Why would you do something that scarred you to your own child? And you want to keep that same curse going down and down and down. No, we're gonna have to step up, become mature, learn how to become better choosers of husband and wife.
Right.
In that way, we will take the abuse away. And that's just what I had to say right there.
Right.
You know, that's it.
No, concert. Now, what you said was give him a hand. And what he said was so heavy and absolutely true and exact. And if I could just if I could just add to that as well, if you look at the history of it, that comes from slavery. That comes from what our oppressor did to make the perfect slave. I believe that Willie Lynch book is down there in that bag, if you don't mind just grabbing that. But it's a portion in there where it talks about so at the beginning it says to make a slave you got to separate the family, and then they put the woman in charge of the family, and then she's just gonna perpetually make the slaves. Like she's gonna produce the slaves. So you no longer gotta, you know what I mean, once you do it one time, and I believe he says it in that book as well. He said if you do this one time, you'll never have to do it again. And it's just that's what you see in the household where like because like what brought this to mind is like you was also Karal, what you was saying was some creative stuff. Like I thought I heard some horror stories like what you said, like the race car tracks and the you know what I mean, the alcohol in the bathtub. I ain't never heard of that, but good night. You know what I mean? And it's like it just you know what I mean, we experienced some heinous it's the part where it talks about the women. So it talks about it's a part that talks about the how the women are afraid of they have to raise the men in a to be feminine. or else, you know what I mean, they gonna lose their life. So it's like reverse. Like I forget the wording of it, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Throw out, sir. But hey, Yavashkata. Oh, please, sir.
So back on topic, like you just said, what's so crazy is where the woman makes the slave, and I think about how many women done dismasculated our brothers. You heard me? Through the times, like through the times of history. So my thing is this: you don't need society to keep kicking your man and keep stumping on them and keep putting their foot on the neck if you got the woman doing it for you. You heard me? That woman don't even understand her role as being a princess of Zion, because as the princess of Zion, you want to motivate your man. You want to encourage your man, even in horrible times like slavery.
Right.
You don't need no Willie Lynch to come in there and tell you how to put the woman. First of all, they should understand that it don't go the order don't go the Most High in Christ. Yahweh shot a woman, then the man. It's flipped from the man and the woman. So
right.
when you over here having a woman negate your next move, watch over your next move, give them that much power, because we already know. You can look through the history line right now. After we came out of Israel, every game got messed up. A woman don't know how to choose a man at all. That's why they run around here with 3 or 4 baby daddies.
Right.
But you got that same woman talking about, I run this house, I run this, I run that, and don't understand how to learn how to learn how to take orders, learn how to be submissive. You got to understand, when we say be submissive, it don't mean, it don't mean get on your knees and bark, and when we say jump, you say how high. Right. That's not what submissive mean at all. What we trying to do is have you learn how to be a follower, so that way you can become a leader to the children, right, to the sisters. You know what I'm saying? But stay in your lane. But my whole thing is this, man. It's crazy that Willie Lynch statement was make a woman over the man, because what the woman is doing is always what they do is dismasculate her brothers, dismasculate her men, say we ain't nothing, say we ain't this or that, and next thing you know, you wonder why you in the house with 5 different kids, 4 different baby daddies, over here all alone. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's just really what it is, man. So I feel like knowing that Willie Lynch law helped destroy us, we need to understand that even if it ain't about the Bible, the Willie Lynch ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. But come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, and then we will see the way. Let's give that a chance.
Right.
Let's give the proper order of the Most High a chance to take reign of how it's supposed to be done on this earth, and see, can you stay together?
Right.
See, would that give you the power and the spirit to fight? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's the whole thing. This ain't the Disney World. Even when you got that much money, they relationships ain't like talking about it. So why are we sitting here acting like it's supposed to be a Disney movie? You gotta want this relationship, man. You gotta fight for the relationship. Everything in life that you want, you have to fight for, man. That's it.
No, come on, concert. Give me a hand. You got that I think it's that first one. Is that one, and then okay, yeah. Read that one, and then the paragraph you just.
Okay, this is the Willie Lynch letter. It says, "This is the breaking process of an African slave. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so you spoil good economic. When in complete submission, she will train her offsprings in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age."
All right, so this is the whole point. This is what we were just talking about a second ago, where their whole intention was to target the woman, your wife, you know what I mean, your sisters. And it said, be careful not to kill her because you spoil good economics, meaning the economics is you. Right. Like the commodity that's being produced is you know what I mean, as a slave. You know what I mean, where we in a perpetual habit of leaving our, you know what I mean, breaking up our families. Where a sister will have, like Officer Crab just said, you know what I mean, she'll have all these baby daddies and don't keep none of them. Or a brother will sleep with a woman and then throw her away. Sleep with a woman, have a child, and throw her away. Sleep with her, and then repeat that process. That's the commodity that he's talking about. That's the economics. Slacky, go ahead, read on.
Con, understanding is the best thing. Okay, so now we're skipping down. It says nature had provided this type of balance. Reverse nature by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart and bull whipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, this ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state.
To a what?
To a frozen independent state.
What does every black woman say? I'm an independent black man or independent black woman that don't need no man. So like you about to say something? It looked like. Oh, Slacky, sir. I was crying. You had your. Okay.
Like that's heavy with that Willie Lynch letter. How you know how they turn the black women against the black man, but it portrays to be weak black men, and like a lot of women, they look at the white man as being more superior, more, you know what I mean, than we are. So that was the whole point, is to make us look weak. And see our sisters like to go and they want looking for the image for the, like we see what the white man's is doing, how he's successful, how he got all these business, how he got these 6-figure jobs. I was about to say what they say, one of the 3 6s, 6 figures, 6 feet tall, you know what I mean, whatever the other 6 is, a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? So they looking for that. They're looking for that. Why this brother can't, this black Hispanic every man, why this brother can't get this 6-figure like this white man getting this 6-figure job?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they see. That's why we struggle with relationship, because they don't see us in that the same vision, same lens that they see the white man. It's the white man. So like it.
Now what you said was heavy, and just to that point, it started with protection. Like now, generations later, where we going through this psychological trauma and we don't understand why. It started with the woman just doing it for protection, or us just doing it for protection. Like we wanted to like you would sleep with your oppressor, or you would you know what I mean, you would submit to your oppressor just to make sure that you didn't lose your life. You know what I mean? You would eat that pork, shrimp, and crab and lobster just to make sure you didn't lose your life. Now, hundreds of years later, now it's just commonplace in our households, and we can't pry it out of our hands if we wanted to. Slack it, sir.
Hey, real quick, let that brother read what I want. I want to get to the nitty gritty real quick of what we reading about right now with Willie Lynch. Go read back to the bull, ripping each other apart. Read that for me from right there. Start right at that part when they got gruesome. Right? When they made the woman watch. I want y'all women to listen to this real quick. I need all of my sisters to listen to how they force your mind to become independent. Go ahead, priest.
Colonel Wakan, sir. I'm gonna skip just a sentence up. It says the independent male offspring and would raise male offsprings to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance. Nature had provided for this type of balance, where reverse nature by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart and by burning and pulling a civilized nigger apart.
Y'all can hear me now? A little bit better. I sound with the echo, but no sweat. We remember, they had to burn and rip apart a civilized Negro, man, to make women feel independent.
Right.
Keep reading.
Come on, sir. And burn and pull apart a nigger and bull whipping to the point of death.
And bull whipping your man. So your men had to become tortured just so you can even get the thought of becoming independent. I want that to sizzle in y'all spirit, sister. Because when y'all look at us, this is what they had to do to us just to bring out independent black women.
Right.
To bring out independent Spanish women, Hispanic women, Native Indian women, man. This is what they had to do to your men. They had to dismasculate your men in front of you. So you can feel like now you feel like you're independent. But you forgot what you had to witness for you to even have that type of mind frame. That's how you know that's not your typical mind frame. He's showing you how to reverse the natural pattern of the law, man. That was Willie Lynch's whole point. Is there any more?
Colonel Concert. By bullwhipping to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state.
So you done went. Look how your state switched. Read that one more time. What state she went from?
Colonel Concert. Caused her to move from her psychological dependent state.
From her psychological dependent state. So you already had a psychological dependent state. Already, black woman. But then what it do?
To a frozen state of independence.
To a frozen state of independence, man. So, come on, man. And sisters, now I want you to realize, man, when y'all sit here today and call niggas broke, bummy, and all these things, just understand if that's the case, if that's what y'all really see from y'all, let me let y'all know this, man. Lord be with you and shalom, because it took them to basically destroy us in front of you to take your psychological of dependence to a frozen independence. I'm through.
Right. Yeah, give them a hand. And that's the whole point. And it's so heavy what you just said, because they still doing it to this day. Like, you know what I mean? What happened to George Floyd and you know what I mean, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice. You know what I mean? All those different things. It's the exact same thing where they doing it right in front of you to further destroy the image of the black man in the mind of our sisters. You know what I mean? And for the sake of, and we're gonna get to it in a second, as a matter of fact, you hold what you got, Bob Kashaf. You give me what was it? You was about to say something?
Yeah, if I could, please.
Oh, please.
Now, if I could, it's heavy what both of y'all saying, you know what I'm saying, like to the point where they're doing it today, because it said that they destroyed the image of the man, you know what I'm saying, so that way they can go into that psychological frozen state of independence. They're doing the same thing with putting men in dresses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good
They
night.
emasculating men and emasculating black and Hispanic men in front of the entire world, in front of the earth. And look how this is why our women are taking on that mindset. It's still the same thing. They took the chains off, like Deuteronomy said. So like you.
No, what you said was heavy. What you said was heavy, man. And does it say how the woman raises the male? Okay, Most High in Christ. Hold 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10 real quick. Just hold that. We're gonna get to it in a second. Baba Shah, if you don't mind just reading on.
Kind. She will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Wait, read that again and read it slow and just what General Muhammad said. He say taste every single word of that.
She will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles.
In what kind of roles?
In reverse roles.
In what kind of roles?
Reverse roles.
See, so that's the result. And because your oppressor beat the hell out of your black men, your black sons, within I believe one, he said he bullwhipped to death, to the point of death, right, and beat the hell out of the next one almost to death. Right. Is that what it said? And did all of that in front of the black woman. So now she's gonna not only put herself in the independent role psychologically, but she's gonna raise the children in reverse roles. So now this is where the perpetual cycle starts, where now you're raising your daughters to, they don't even get the femininity no more. Like they don't even they don't even like they had to beat the femininity out of our sisters through beating our brothers and our sons and our fathers in front of the sister so that she gets out of that feminine state, and then she's gonna go ahead and raise a masculine daughter, a monster in her household. That's gonna be the independent black man. That's how the independent black woman that don't need no man is born, like Officer Crowd was saying. And she's gonna raise the son to be feminine. Salaki, go ahead, read on.
This brother in the comments said, Officer Bun, he said, DEI is a form of emasculation to the black man as well.
God damn, that's heavy.
He said DEI is a form of emasculation to the black man as well.
Damn. I wish the brother was here. I kind of want him to elaborate on it a little bit because that's kind of heavy.
That is kind of heavy.
But, let's see if I know he had to slave, but
Yeah, ask that brother.
Yes.
Let's break it down a little bit.
yeah,
more.
see if you could elaborate just a little bit more on that, priest. Yeah, that's heavy. Good night. We'll give him a second, if you could.
Can I bring a scripture out real quick?
Oh, please, sir.
Real quick. This is give me the book of Lamentations I think I want to say that 4:17 real quick, man. I just want y'all to see something real quick because what IBR had said was something very heavy. But see, he ain't say, but see, he said one thing, but he forgot to put something in front of it. See, we talking about the Israelite men here. Not all men. Because all women ain't see the white man be beaten, ripped apart, burned. But they got to see their own men like that. And so let me read this real quick. And let me tell you why that was a hell of a thing for Willie Lynch to do. And let me tell you what the scriptures say about that. Y'all, I'm in Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. I just want to break that down a little bit. Our eyes has watched in vain for help, meaning that we've been mistreated and we're still looking at the mistreater as he's our savior. We haven't even realized, we haven't even been whooped long enough yet to where we steady looking for that help and realize it's not ever going to come from the people we looking at. Because those are nations that want to keep us underneath their feet.
Right.
Those are nations that want to see us eat their dirt. Those are nations that hate us with a perpetual hatred. Let me keep going. They hunt our steps. I don't think you heard me. They hunt our steps. That's why you got the Tamir Rice. That's why you got the Michael Browns. That's why you got the Sandras and all of them people.
Right.
They hunt us.
Right.
We are being hunted like we are fresh meat. We are being hunted like deer. We are being like elk, whatever you want to hunt. If you go look at all the animals, damn near 40% of them damn near going on extinct right now. If they could extinct us, they would have a long time ago. We're being hunted, but guess what though? We're still looking for them to help us. Then this is what they say, that we cannot go in our streets. What happened when Michael Brown went in the streets? What happened when Tamir Rice went in the streets? They were unalived.
Right.
By the people that we look for help from.
Right.
With our vain eyes. Those people are your enemies, man.
Right.
But we keep looking for them to help us. And this is why we out here marching every goddamn day. Check this out. This didn't say this. It says, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Let me tell you something, man. If our days instead of being fulfilled by them destroying us, brothers and sisters, young and old, when are we going to say enough is enough?
Right.
When are we going to say we need to start looking somewhere else?
Right.
And then we need to ask the question, if you don't know where to look at, how about you get in touch with a school called the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, so
Right.
we can tell you where to look for the help. So that way we can all get on the same page, and then our king will come save us. But if we're gonna consistently do what limitations say they doing, we're gonna stay in these situations, and we're gonna stay reading sad things like this happening to our grandmothers, our grandfathers. We gotta watch our daughters get brought up like this, because this is their kingdom. This is not our rest place, man.
Right.
So my thing is this, man. When we gotta come to realization when enough is enough. When are we tired of sitting here mourning for our people, man? I've just read, heard, seen so much death, so much sadness, so much mourning, and it's like, when is enough for y'all?
Right.
Because we know up in here, but why are we out there still destroying each other and then going to funerals and then want to retaliate, and they going to funerals and then they're going to retaliate on us and we're going to funerals? How many funerals we got to go to understand that us alive in one another is the same thing as being as crabs in a bucket?
Right.
I'm done.
My hand.
Get them microphone for me, bro.
Yeah. That's the whole point. Like, that's the whole point. And what he just brought out was so heavy, because I believe in Lamentation, that's after Jerusalem had fallen, right? But we was in a destitute, like Lamentations means to mourn. We was in a destitute situation where we was living under our oppressor. You know what I mean? And it happened because of like we said before, the things written aforetime are written for our learning. You know what I mean? So if we just read these records, we will see what happens to us, or how we, you know what I mean, how we living when we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we don't have to have an oppressor over us. And then once we deviate and once we start following after our oppressor, we start serving other gods, we start sleeping with these other nations, then our people or our nation falls. You know what I mean? As is prophesied over and over. And then now we're mourning. Now we're begging for the lives of our children and the lives of our brothers and the lives of our sisters. You know what I mean? And then we get back right with the Most High. You know what I mean? We start following these laws, statutes, and commandments. And then we, you know what I mean, we get back in a position, like in Judges, you know what I mean? We get back in a position where we back on top. And then we do it over and over and over again. That's what we see today. You know what I mean? Where we're mourning. We're in a state of mourning, just like we was in a state of mourning in Lamentations. Salaki, somebody had their hand up, or am I tripping? You was about to... Go ahead, please.
Like I said, I was reading with Oban, Priest Oban.
Most High Christ.
Yeah, said, because like he went Officer Eyebrow gave a class like 2 weeks ago. I know everybody's seen it with the Monopoly board, man.
God.
That was heavy, because like they tell us lift ourselves by our bootstraps. Like, we 400 years behind, and sisters are black, black, Hispanic, and everything. Sisters need to know, like, as a black man, we 400 years behind. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the economic, we come in here, we fighting for jobs that the oppressor already has, and we gotta go to the oppressor for everything. That's in scripture. We gotta go to the oppressor for clothes, go for for everything. We gotta go to them for. Even for a job. You know what I'm saying? And we try to get them high position jobs they already have. You know what I'm saying? So that's heavy what Obama was saying, the DEI, because now it helps the black women, you know what I'm saying? Kind of what he was saying, like, because now they get them top jobs. I'm a CEO now. Why I need a nigga? You know what I'm saying? I'm making 6 figures. So it's serious that what I'm asking for my man, I'm making that.
Right.
Why I need somebody? You know what I'm saying? So that was heavy what he was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's super heavy. And the water, that was who I was thinking about with the hand up thing. If you don't mind reading his comment.
Okay, no sweat. Yeah, he said DEI is not to give brothers a high position at work. They given to the black women and Hispanic women to be above the brothers. The white man still have his top positions.
And that's a heavy point right there. And, please go ahead.
Like, I just want my mind. I lost my track of thought when I was talking. Like, when I gave a class a couple weeks ago, but that's all his fault on the intergenerational trauma. You know what I'm saying? By intergenerational trauma, like we going through racism and when we went through the slavery, all that's piled on us and caused to have that psychological trauma that we go through today for the black, Hispanic, and every women that go through. Because we've been, tears the trails of tears, we've been the translated slave trade, all these things we've been through, Jim Crow and all this stuff we've been through. That's all psychological trauma that we deal with as black, Hispanic, and every American. So all that you have saying about how black women, how we thinking, how they be thinking, that's all that is trauma that we compiled together all these years. Even though, I mean, from in the scriptures, when we coming out of Egypt, out of all the captivity we've been in captivity for a long while. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff carries down until what we come in like is in our genes. Like you said, we come out sometimes. You know what I mean? You got both parents in the house and you still be like, you know what I mean? You still got that mindset of like, I don't need your female. I mean, your daughter said that mindset like, I don't need no nigga. And you got male figure in the house. You let her know you need to find you somebody, you man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the son also. You know what I'm saying? You got both parents in the house, but still that trauma we deal with. You know what I mean? In America, being oppressed, it carries on in generation to generation, and we have to be mindful and seize it for what it is. And break that trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what you said was absolutely correct. Give him a hand. No, what you said was heavy, and I just want to say something to all you sisters out there. And I promise you, this is out of love and compassion, and I mean this with all my heart. You know what I mean? Don't take. But I gotta tell you the truth, sisters. If you are that type of sister, and of course, you know what I mean, I want you to really examine yourself. If you, cause I see this a lot as well, where sisters, you know what I mean, sisters will be pregnant and single. Well, they'll be pregnant with a man's child. They'll be about 4 or 5 months pregnant, but they'll be single. Right. Like, if that's you, or if you know what I mean, you got all these children and the father's not around, and you the type of sister that feel like you don't need a man, or you the type of sister that, you know what I mean, it feels like hell to be in a relationship, or you just hate men in general. You know what I mean? Aside from the, you know what I mean, the pleasure that they could bring you and their money. You're a slave. You are the exact slave that Willie Lynch created in these Willie Lynch letters. You are a slave. And I know you know what I mean, a lot of times on the surface it feels like we benefit from just being that slave. You know what I mean? In the short term. You know what I mean? It benefits because, you know what I mean, your oppressor uses our women to, like the brother just said in the chat, the oppressor uses your woman to put the woman above the man, to keep creating perpetual slaves. You know what I mean? So it might feel like it's beneficial to continue to be a slave because you got that good paying job and your oppressor puts you over the mail, and then you can, you know what I mean, you got the freedom of choice, you got the freedom of liberty, you know what I mean, to destroy yourself with, where you could get rid of your child, or you could put your baby's father on child support, or you can get married and then get a divorce, and then you entitled to, you know what I mean, half of everything that your husband owned. It might seem beneficial to be a slave, but I want you to understand that, first of all, you are a slave. You are the perfect slave that Willie Lynch created right here that we reading about. And you know what I mean, we're not gonna it might seem cool now. It might seem cool to get that paycheck, but what we're gonna do is continue to perpetually create those slaves like intended right here. Slacker, sir, you wanted to say something?
Please. See, this is my thing real quick. I hate how blind we can be to ourselves, because we're so blind, we don't even see the stars falling in front of us.
Right. Good night.
I just want y'all to really think about this real quick. You had but I had a TV show, older dude, he was about to buy one of the TV stations, Bill Cosby. They had Bill Cosby. Brother been doing this thing for so long. Now, I'm going to keep it real. He was so blind to the matter as well, because in his show, Bill Cosby, he was a doctor. Do you know what he was a doctor of?
I think it's been a while since I've seen it. I think he was
psychology.
Go
ahead. Give it a try.
Yeah, gynecologist. He was a gynecologist.
Gynecologist. Guess where his office was? Guess where his office was at? in the basement.
Ooh wee.
A setup from the beginning of that show.
Good night.
Now listen, not only him though, you got Smokey Robinson, same thing. You got listen, you have Michael Jackson, same thing. I'm just putting out all these stars that had millions and millions of dollars. That had all the cameras in front of them with the fame. Y'all talking about a little check? Who gives a damn about your 6 figures? When we see millionaires and billionaires fall every day.
Right.
You got Diddy in there that everybody was jamming at one point in time. You got Diddy in there right now fighting for his life from being like the devil, being like his father, the devil.
Right.
We're seeing all of this money right now getting locked up, being unable to be spent. Their accounts are frozen. They done went years and years making all this money, making everybody smile, jig, every damn thing. You got Mystical back in jail. I just want you to think about these stars that's falling in everybody's face. So while these sisters is thinking that they can't fall, they got another thing coming. Because you're watching right now, every person that gets to the top, before they hit the spectrum, before they gotta go out of here, there's always something that pops up. Always something. Nobody has a clean slate. They just trying to get Denzel on some homosexual stuff on the Gladiator 2.
Good night.
Listen, nobody comes up out of here. If you're black, Hispanic, Native Indian, I promise you this, man. You will not leave this earth untouched.
Right.
I don't care how much money you have because this is not your money and this is not your rest place.
Right.
I just wanted to put that in y'all face because everybody think they're making money on that they're safe. Money don't mean nothing.
Right.
Because you're watching every day millionaires get locked the hell up for 16 years.
Right.
How you gonna lock Bill Cosby? But this nigga they're on a deathbed.
Right.
He 80 years old. You gonna bring us some stuff that happened in the 50s and 60s on this brother? I'm just trying to tell you, man. The white, Mr. Lockett, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. And we need to really understand that and understand this. We have to look out for one another and get out of that selfishness. Y'all sisters need to come back to the right philosophies of becoming not independent, but dependent on who you need to become dependent on. And y'all need to help your men with confidence. They're depressed. Like my brother just said with DEA out here, man, DI, you cannot succeed in this lifestyle when the life don't want you to succeed.
Right.
Y'all got to say, I'm tired of keeping my men down. I want them to rise. But if y'all think that y'all are goddess, you're playing the 50 with yourself, and you're going to be stuck in your same situation. You're either going to be an old woman with lots of money that has nothing to be with no children,
Right.
or you're gonna be a old woman with a whole bunch of children with no man.
Right.
You choose.
I'll give him a hand. Good night. That's so damn heavy, and it always ends the same way, like Officer Crab just said. Like, you know what I mean? You look at Vivica A. Fox. What's her name? What's the Oprah road dog? Gail King. You know what I mean? Where you got all this money, but don't no man want to deal with you. You know what I mean? Vivica A. Fox, I'm sure she got a decent amount of money, but don't no man want to deal with no monster. You know what I mean? Please, sir, go ahead. Go. Yeah, we gonna.
Okay. Listen, what you just say, sir? Salaka, ain't no man want to deal with no monster.
Right.
So when you look at these celebrities, I just want you to think about it real quick. These celebrities are in Hollywood. You see them from ever since they've been stars. I don't care if they started child, mid-age, or whatever. If you go look at their profiles right now, 90% of them are divorced. The other 10 has never been married, and then the other 10 don't have children because, like you just said, they're monsters. They're either blocked. They're blocking from having children, and they look up. They're already too old to have children. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm trying to say? So like you said, nobody wants to deal with no monsters. And guess now what they're doing? Guess what they're doing now? They're stuck with having sex with their pool boys.
Good night.
With their gardeners. You know what I'm trying to say? because of the wicked lifestyle they chose to live.
Right.
So they done gave their whole life away. They think about this. They done gave their whole life away to the father they devil.
God.
That's what it is.
Okay, so now give him a hand. You mind just sharing that picture that I pulled up? And like that's so heavy because like again, like what Officer Croft said, like it's gonna like you see these sisters, you know what I mean, they spend their whole the youth of their or the beginning of their career, you know what I mean, when they, you know what I mean, in their 20s and 30s and early 40s, but they just like they run in the streets and they you know what I mean, they want to be single and free to mingle. They don't want no man to tell them what to do and nothing. Can't nobody tell them nothing. You know what I mean? But you see these sisters once they become in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on, all they want is a man. You know what I mean? They done drug that box through the mud, you know what I mean, all through their 20s and 30s when they was young and that they the flower, you know what I mean, the flower of their youth where they able to have children and got the strength to run around and chase kids and you know what I mean be you know, you got the strength to you know what I mean be a mother and all of those different things. You can drag that box through the mud and now once that you know what I mean once that box all blown out and dirty and you know what I mean now all you want to do is give that blown out box to some man and now you want to be taken care of. Now you want to be dependent. Now all you want is a man in your bed to raise your kids from all that you didn't acquire from all these baby daddies you was collecting like the infinity stones, man. That's how we got these sisters that you got that's how you get this sister that you see on the screen. You know what I mean? When she butt naked in this photo shoot with her children, you know what I mean? Don't no man want to. Don't no. If this sister had a man in her house, if a sister had a man in her house, he would absolutely not let this go on, man. He would correct her, man. He would tell her to put some damn clothes on. But you know what I mean. What that sister's gonna say? You can't tell me what to do. What? I don't see the problem. I saw another video. I don't think it was a brother, but the man was just trying to get the kids to take a shower. He was trying to get the kids to take it. He had told the woman, get these kids to take a shower. And the sister was like, why you concerned about my kids taking a shower? It's giving pedo. Like, when a man try to correct, now this man then taken, these children are obviously not this man's children. So he done came in your house after you done dragged that box through the mud and blown that box out. And he didn't had the mercy to raise your kids and deal with your evil behind. And all he wants you to do is just make sure your kids is taking care of themselves, man. And that's the response. Like we get our sisters have been trained to give pushback to the strong black man in their household. And it is because of this right here. It's because of what we just read in these Willie Lynch letters. I mean, it's by design. And if you still behaving like that, black, Hispanic, and Native American woman, you are a slave. You absolutely are a slave, and you not only a slave, but you are the arm of your oppressor against your husband and your brothers and your sons who you claim to love. Salaki, you was about to say something?
Like I was crazy what you were saying. Like the box is all it just broke open.
It's unclean.
It's crazy. It's crazy how this works because I listened to the radio today, man. They were asking the question was. How many bodies does a woman have? Like, how many bodies? Ask the woman how many bodies they have. And they said it doesn't matter. Like, when you go on a date, asking a question, you should ask them how many bodies they had. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very important. But why would you want a woman that had like in the 3 digits, they got 100-some bodies? Like, how, as a man, as a black Hispanic man, how can you certify a woman like that? Because when she intimate with you, that's all she's thinking about the other 100 men before you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So women out there giving their body away, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I mean? Not having multiple husbands, multiple men. You know, nobody want no man wanting like nothing like that. They got 100 bodies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just said, man, the box is just the box is wide. It's tore apart.
Right. Yeah. It's like a Goodyear tire.
You can't return the box. When you know Amazon, when your Amazon package come in, the box damaged, you can return it back. In this box, you can't return it back to Amazon.
Right.
It's just destroyed.
It's your box now.
Now, if I could, now that's heavy what you just brought out. You know what I'm saying, and that's why it's so important for sisters to come in here. You know what I'm saying, and change their life, man. And you can restart your body count if you come and serve Christ. You understand?
Right.
You come in, you can that meter was set back to zero. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But like the priest was just saying, listen, comparison is a thief of joy. A lot of sisters can't understand why they so unhappy with their man, and you know what I'm saying, that he ain't laying it down. It's because you got too many bodies to compare it to.
Right.
You understand? Salaki.
No. Give these priests a hand, man. And one body, because I was gonna say the exact same thing that you just mentioned at first. Where you know what I mean, you could come up in here and be a new sister. You know what I mean? That old sister Lucretia, you know what I mean, she done had too many bodies to count. You come up in here and Shawashana ain't never had no bodies. You know what I mean? Deborah, she ain't, or Deborah in the Hebrew, she ain't never had no bodies. Hannah, she ain't never had no she ain't never had no bodies. You know what I mean? You could come in here and be absolutely new. And that's a lesson to you brothers as well. You know what I mean? What you should do if you was a wise man, you know what I mean, you want to be careful about who you just give your rod to. Like I know the first thing, the most exciting thing that you learn in the ISUPK as a man, you know what I mean, especially young man, you could have more than one wife. You know what I mean? It sounds so good. But you dealing with these sisters in the world, you really got to vet these sisters and try them and put them through the furnace. I guarantee if you start off the courting process, or during the courting process rather, you ask a sister, how many you know what I mean, how many men have you had? You know what I mean? On a rough estimate. She's probably gonna cuss you out. She probably off the rip, not even gonna answer. She's either gonna lie about it or want to lie about it, or she gonna cuss you out. Most likely she gonna cuss you the hell out for even wanting to know. Why is that your business? Who did the sassiness is given sassy? You gonna be all types of they gonna call you LGBTQ and sassy, and it's gonna be all sorts of insults being thrown your way. And that's good. You know what I mean? What you should do as soon as she start doing that, you should get up from that table and just leave. Just leave her right there. Or if you on the phone, don't even argue with the woman. Don't tell her how disgusting and terrible she is. Don't argue with her. Just click, no sweat. As soon as you say, how many bodies you got? Who is you talking to? Click. Get up from the table, walk away. You know what I mean? Pay the bill or whatever the hell going on. Get the hell up out of there and never talk to that woman again. That's going to save you a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? That's going to save you a lot of trouble. But what I would advise is for you to bring her in here. You know what I mean? You talk to your camp leader, bring her up in here, tell her you want her to go through the process and have her vetted, have her examined, have her taught, let her come into class, you know what I mean? So that we can teach class and then, you know what I mean? See how she reacts in class, you know what I mean? See if she treats it like the Christian church. See if she asks any questions. See if she's willing to, you know what I mean, learn her culture again and learn how to become a virtuous woman again. And you'll get that beautiful princess that ain't got no bodies. You know what I mean? At the end of that process, that's what I recommend for brothers and sisters. But we got to learn how to choose properly. You know what I mean? You sleeping with these women in the world, you're going to end up with monsters that you have to keep. And these monsters, you know what I mean? This sister, I always say, you know what I mean? I'd rather a sister just leave. You know what I mean? Just leave. But it's worse things than a sister leaving. You know what I mean? Well, she'll stab you. You still got to stay with her. You know what I mean? She'll choke you out. She'll bust you all upside the head. She'll abuse your children. You still got to keep her. Slack it, sir.
Man, let me get this verse real quick. Hey, can I get a brother to read it for me? It's Isaiah 3, chapter 3, verse 24. Are you mind reading it for me? I just wanna break this down real quick, man.
Colonel Khan, so this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 17.
No, 3 and 24.
Oh, it's like it, sir. I thought, it's like it. Verse 24. And it shall come to pass.
Hold on. And it shall come to pass. That means it's a prophecy. Let's go.
That instead of a sweet smell there shall be a stink.
Hold on. What that sound like? Read that one more time.
Colonel Wakan. Instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink.
So guess what? There was a time it was sweet smelling.
Right.
But since you want to live your best life, since you want to since you want to adapt into social medias and all this stuff, everything that got made easier for you to satisfy your unwantedness, right, or how you feeling, right? Read that one more time. What did it say?
Colonel Wakan. Instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink.
Keep going.
and instead of a girdle, a rent.
A girdle or rent. Man, somebody find that definition of a rent for me, man. I want because see, this is my thing real quick, man. I hate that women feel as if they can be whores on the low. They can be unlike princess on the low. They
Right.
think that they sneaky and they're not on the low. And the Lord is telling you what's supposed to happen to you.
Right.
So when your man smell your box and he make that funny face, just know why. When you see him don't want to eat your box out, just know why. Because this is start at the top again till you get that remote on mic. You get
I got
that.
it.
You find you might find a definition. Read that definition of rent for me.
The book definition of rent: pay someone for their use.
No. Okay. I like that one. There's another one.
Typical property.
What? There's another one.
Salaki, I know rent biblically means like torn up. Oh,
That's
you
what
had
I'm about
that?
to say. You about to say that? He didn't. I was looking for that
Yeah,
one.
Common. The book rent, as far as biblical meaning, the act of tearing or ripping,
Go ahead.
especially a garment.
Especially a garment. Now go ahead from the top again real quick.
Colonel, what kind?
I just want y'all sisters to know this real quick.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 14. 3 and verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there should be a stink.
Now your box, see, this is what I'm trying to say, man. Your box went from smelling like, I don't know, give me some that smell good. Roses, I don't know. But now it smells like catfish. You know what I'm saying? It used to be smelling like water. I love that water, because water don't smell like nothing, right? But now I got a funny snitch to it. Now keep going.
Colonel Wakan. And instead of a girdle, a rent.
Now your stuff all toe up. Keep going.
And instead of well set hair, baldness.
Now you looking like Jada Pickett.
Right.
Now you wonder why you run around here with what's that word? I don't want to mispronounce it.
Alopecia.
Alopecia. Now you got alopecia. Now you wonder why you're bald headed. Now you wonder why half of your scalp missing.
Right.
But guess what though? You still think I can throw that wig on and be the baddest person in the world, running around with a funky box.
Right.
Your box stank. Your girdle, you ain't got a girdle no more. You got a rent. You know what I'm saying? You got a girdle, a rent. Now you're messed up.
Right.
But you still think you're bad though. Keep going.
And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth.
Now instead of a stomach, you got a good night. Goddamn. A girding of sackcloth. Now you like a bad built Cheeto. You know
Good
what I'm
night.
saying? Keep going. Am I done?
Colonel Wakan.
Give me
And
some more.
burning instead of beauty.
And now you're burning instead of beauty, man.
Good night.
That what happened to your whores. That what happened to you sneaky so-called princesses. This is what happened to all you women that don't want to rely on your man for guidance. You're too weak to fight. You'd rather try to cheat the game as if your angel ain't looking at you.
Right.
As if your priest angel ain't looking at you. But you think you're getting away with it. And that's my thing. They think they're getting away with it because you ain't speaking on it. See, women are so silly. Men too. But women are more silly than they think they are. Because they're trying to play a position that was not made for them.
Right.
You're never was supposed to be over the man, woman. And once you realize that and things go to their proper order, guess what will happen? We will rule this earth.
Right.
Because now everything's in order for your house to come back. But if not, y'all keep on being like y'all been, want to live your best life, alpha man, I'm going to get my body count high, I'm going to live my best life, run around with that trash box, that box that been through the mud,
Right.
that box that smell like the mud, this is you. Shalom.
No, give him a hand. Let me get Matthew 16 and let me find it. 25. What you got?
You have me hold the First Timothy, the money.
Come on, yeah, we gonna get to that right after this. Go ahead go ahead, read that.
Colonel Wakan, the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 25. Whatsoever will save his life shall lose it, and whatsoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
See this? What Officer Karab just said was heavy. You know what I mean, because our oppressor has devised this plan to to put our families upside down and to prop our sisters up over the man, you know what I mean? We destroyed. And we in hell now. But if only, like Officer Crab just said, if only we could get back to following our culture and getting things right, then we could rule the world. But we would rather, you know what I mean, a lot of our sisters would rather to, you know what I mean, to go against their husband like our oppressor trained them to. You know what I mean? You think you can't be submissive for your husband. You think that sounds like slavery. You think that sounds like you a dog. Your oppressor trained you to be the way that you are right now toward that man. You know what I mean? But we'll rather behave just like our oppressor trained us to for the instant gratification that comes with it rather than to, you know what I mean, turn away from those things and rule the world. Man, that's one hell of a sacrifice, man. That's a loss. You just lost. You know what I mean? You ask me. Go ahead, read on. Verse 26.
Verse 26. For what is a man profit if he shall gain the world and lose his own soul?
So you trying to chase the world, you're gonna lose your soul, and it always baffles me too. Since we on the topic of sisters, you know what I mean, it baffles me so much when a sister will live this promiscuous lifestyle, or she'll be a monster to her man, or a monster to her children, and then when that disaster comes, when like we just read in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, and still you got that burning and that stink and that baldness and that you know what I mean, you got another baby daddy, you know what I mean, and you like, oh, this man ain't nothing, he a clown. What went wrong? Why is this happening to me? It baffles me that it's always a surprise when the consequence comes from being a hoe or being a horse, like it, from being, you know what I mean, this promiscuous woman. You know what I mean? That's the result. You know what I mean? And that's what was made right here in this book. Go ahead and read. Was it? It's some more than that.
Kind of one concert. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
You know, what will you give in exchange for your soul? You know what I mean? What would you give? You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and tell you. You're gonna lose everything. We gonna get the lifestyle that we live today, where the father's not in the home. You know what I mean? Where we living in the conditions that we live in today. That's what you're gonna get. Following after this world, you're gonna lose a lot. You know what I mean? You're always gonna lose because that's how your oppressor designed it. Slakia, go ahead and read. Go ahead, read what you got. And what's so Slakia? Dang, I kind of wanted you to go into the rest of that paragraph. Actually, I'm gonna let you read the rest of this uninterrupted, and then we're gonna read what you got. Slakia. What you gotta understand is this is by design, though. This is like that whole independent black man that don't need, or black woman that don't need no man. That's by design. That's not you. That's what your slave master created. You know what I mean? And it's because he beat the hell out of, just to recap, he beat the hell out of your son and your husband within close to death. You know what I mean? And it put fear in you. So now you have to be masculine. Now you have to not rely on your husband because your oppressor trained you to be that way. And this is the result. Slacky, go ahead.
Carnival concert. Carnival concert. For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically.
Slacky, for strength?
For fear.
For strength, right? Because you so strong, right?
For fear.
That's why you're an independent black woman that don't need no man. Slacky, go ahead, read on.
For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offsprings to be psychologically independent.
Right.
What have you got? You've got the nigger woman out front and the nigger man behind and scared. Right. This is a perfect situation for sound and sleep economics.
For what?
For sound and sleep economics.
You wonder why? See, you wonder why we so-called sleep, like everybody sleep. It's because this is the lifestyle that we live. Because your oppressor trained you to be this way. That's sound asleep economics. Slacky, go ahead, read on.
Okay. Before the breaking process, we had to be alertly on guard at all times.
So before they had to be alert at all times. You know what I mean? You read in the book of Maccabees, they tried to make us break the law, statutes, and commandments by eating pork. And you know what that mother trained her children to do? He trained her. She trained her. I'm sure she had a husband. You know what I mean? But she trained them children in the way that they should go, where they won't break the law, statutes, commandments for fear of their life, because they know that they will be back. You know what I mean? She trained him. She trained them in the law, statutes, commandments that's in this Bible. She trained them their culture, so they wasn't afraid to die. You know what I mean? So they told that oppressor right to their face. You know what I mean? The sister was trying to encourage the younger son. He was like, look, you're going to die just like your brothers, and I want you to go out like a man. You know what I mean? I want you to stand 10 toes. And while she was talking, he was looking at the person. He like, what you waiting on? Come on, come do your worst, man. You know what I mean? Come get this over with, man, because when we come back, we coming back for everything, and you going to pay. It's like, you go ahead, read on. That's what crazy.
Now we can sleep soundly, for out of frozen fear his woman stands guard for us.
Ooh, the woman do what?
His woman stands guard for us.
That's out the Bible. We just read that. Though the children are the oppressors and women rule over them, man. Because your oppressor created a monster out of our sisters. Now the sister is gonna be the oppressor instead of our oppressor. You know what I mean? Just like Moses was a God to the Israel was God to the Israelites instead of you know what I mean, he was a spokesman for the Most High. Your woman is now the spokesman for your oppressor. And she's gonna make sure that you stay oppressed and stay destroyed and stay mass incarcerated and stay on child support and stay, you know what I mean? You can't be a father in your household. So like you was about to say something?
No, if I could, no, it's heavy just even bringing this out and just reviewing. I'm remembering childhood. Like, you always get the moms, the single moms more or less, they want to put their son, you in flag football at 3, because they're trying to create you to be physically strong. They put you in sports, they do all this stuff, and they always beat the son like it's like Officer Corral was playing some explicit way,
right?
Because they're trying to make him strong and tough. But with that daughter, she's all kind of bees and whole. It's that psychological portion, like exactly how the book is playing now. So like you.
No, what he said was heavy and absolutely true, and that's what you got to understand. That's what we got to understand as a family. You know what I mean? It ain't no diss to our sisters. It ain't no diss to our brothers. Because I know correction, because we ain't had correction in a long time. So I know correction can feel like an attack. You know what I mean? When you've been coddled and somebody been holding your hand and telling you that you're not oppressed and that you not doing nothing wrong for so many years. I know correction can feel like hell and a prison. But, you know what I mean? This is love that you're getting right now, man. And these, you know what I mean? We got to break over. What you got to realize is you being independent, that's not you. That's not you just because you just so great and that you don't need a man. That's by design. That's the slave that you was made into. You know what I mean? It's like you got something. And that's that brings me to my next point as well. You know what I mean? Because of this psychological trauma, because the oppressor has put the woman over the man and told you what a man is. Now the oppressor gonna tell you what a man is and how to raise a man. And now you independent and strong and you don't need no man. And now you're gonna raise your sons to be in reverse role. So now you're gonna raise your daughters to be masculine and you're gonna raise your sons to be feminine. You know what I mean? Now, how do we choose? How do our sisters choose? You know what I mean? Now you look for the man with the biggest bag. You know what I mean? It don't matter how he getting it. He could be a scumbag. You know what I mean? He could be running the streets. He could be selling drugs. He could be robbing and kicking doors in. You know what I mean? That's appealing to our sisters nowadays. You know what I mean? Where, you know what I mean? You look at the trial of I'm still combing through it, but the trials the trial of P. Diddy, you know what I mean? What Cassie is saying, she was sticking to him. It wasn't because, you know what I mean, she didn't do the things that she did with those you know what I mean, the heinous things that he was asking her to do. You know what I mean? Because he was abusing her. You know what I mean? That's what you would think, right? That she was just, you know what I mean? She was being forced against her will. She was just like, I just wanted to make him happy. Cause why? Cause a man like that, a sister want to make happy. You're gonna do whatever you got to do to stay with that man because he got the bag. You know what I mean? You ain't worried about how you know what I mean, all the brothers that he done robbed in his record deals. You ain't worried about all the heinous things that he did to even start all of that. You know what I mean? Whatever he was doing before he became Diddy. You know what I mean? You ain't worried about you know what I mean, the streets that a brother with money then ruined by selling drugs. You know what I mean? You don't care about how terrible of a father he is. You know what I mean? When he got that bag. You know what I mean? Go ahead and read what you got that in that Timothy.
Kind of the book of First Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money is the root of all evil. See, it's nothing wrong with you know what I mean? I'm not telling you not to work. I'm not telling you not to try to you know what I mean, get some money, because you absolutely need some money. But what you got to understand, like the scriptures say, money is a defense. You know what I mean? But your oppressor that emasculated you and destroyed your, you know what I mean? They didn't destroy our households or destroyed our ability to even, you know what I mean? They try to make destructive ways to make money so appealing. When you got our sisters on OnlyFans and prostituting themselves and on stripper poles, and you got brothers, you know what I mean, they selling all sorts of drugs and all of that and robbing each other and all of that. They make the illegal and the destructive ways to make money look appealing. And because our oppressor has made the black man look so poor and incapable in the eyes of our sisters, you know what I mean? They run to our oppressor because your oppressor got money. They run to get that money and try to defend themselves and prop themselves up because, you know what I mean, we live in hell without it. But what you got to understand is, read that again.
Verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
See, once you put money before the qualities of a father, the qualities of a husband, the qualities of a wife, the qualities of a sister or brother, the qualities of a friend that's in this Bible, once you put money before that, then you're going to do something evil. You're going to be in an evil situation. You know what I mean? That's why you see, you mind going to that picture again? I mean, that's why, you know what I mean? I'm sure this sister right here, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, she got all the child support checks coming in. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Once you, like, our brothers have become just a commodity, just a stream of income, just a stream of passive income. You know what I mean? You got brothers and sisters that might start businesses, might invest in like stocks, and might invest in some things in real estate. You know what I mean? To have passive income. Our sisters, you know what I mean, have started to invest in child support as a stream of passive income, man. And that's how you end up with situations like that, where it's clearly no man. And is there a daughter sitting right there? 3? Good night. Good night. 2 daughters and 2 sons. And it's a little baby right there, man. Like that's how you get in these situations where it's and she'll think she got the biggest Kool-Aid smile on her face. She'll think nothing's wrong with this. And unfortunately, like a lot of our brothers and sisters don't see nothing wrong with this. Like you look at the comments and you look at you know what I mean, we go on the streets and teach all the time. And we try to correct the sister and tell her to put some clothes on, and the man is gonna be the one to be like, nah, bro, leave her. Who is you? That ain't your woman. Mind your business. This, that, and the third. You know what I mean? We don't see nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? But that's how you get this. That's how you get exactly what we just seen. From following after our oppressor and putting money first. You know what I mean? That's how. I mean, that's a poor way to choose any. You know what I mean? Whether your brother or sister. That's the poorest way to choose who you have children with. Because you see right now, like millionaires get divorces all the time. Millionaires end up on child support all the time. What's that brother name? That basketball player. That concert. That
Edwards.
Oh yeah. Him, yeah. Anthony Edwards, yeah.
Man. And he realized once he got that porno star pregnant, what it meant for him. So what he did was, I don't want to be part of that child life. How much is it for 18 years, Your Honor? Here you go.
Right.
Keep him away from me. I don't want nothing to do with you. We ain't got nothing to do with each other. And that's what you just said. Dealing with them type of women will put you in bad situations. And that is why it's very, very practical, man. To quit being freaky zoids,
right,
horny toads, and tell your sisters to put on some damn clothes. Because we all say this. What we all say? We don't want no hoe, right?
Right.
We all say what hoes are good for, just to get you off. But we look for women. So how about this? How about we eliminate all the whores and hoes,
right,
and just make them all women,
right?
And that way we ain't gotta fight each other about who need their clothes on and who need their clothes off,
right?
Because that's the only way it's gonna stop. We ain't gotta encourage them to talk about their baddest because this is my thing. If that was your woman, you want her to conceal. So why you want this sister to whore herself out? So guess what? So she can be an old lonely Oprah.
Right. I'll give him a hand. And what you don't realize about like about that money, like that situation with Anthony Edwards, you know what I mean? He paid that sister off, so now he don't have to spend the rest of or the next 18 years. You know what I mean? Who knows what's gonna happen? He might. People lose careers all the time. People get money and lose money all the time. So you know what I mean? Who knows years down the line what type of situation he would have been stuck in if he hadn't did what he did. But what we don't realize is money don't fix everything. There's worse things than you know what I mean, not having money. He had the money he don't have to deal with that monster financially for 18 years. That's cool for him. But that child that he just left in the custody in the care of a prostitute and a what's it called,
Porn star?
I ain't want to say that, but yeah, that you know what I mean, yeah, a sex worker, you know what I mean. That child is going to be destroyed. I'll be surprised if that child don't, you know what I mean, don't jump off a bridge or something. You know what I mean. You gotta see online to see your mother busting it open in front of your peers. Like it, sir.
And that's what I had to say real quick. Anthony Edwards is good, but that move he made was so trifling and so unbrotherly.
Right.
His child got to grow up for 18 years thinking my father gave, because it was already out, my father gave my mother my child support and they want nothing to do with me,
Good
which
night.
I ain't even asked to come in this earth.
Right. Good night.
Man. And that's what we say about our decisions that we make. Can be hard. It might be harmful to us, but we gotta think about who we created,
Right.
and what we created.
Right.
And you basically just gave all that money up because you don't want to deal with your child.
Right. Give him a hand. What you got there?
No, if I could, I just wanted to add to that point. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, the child gets taken away from her because the only thing she wanted was the money in the first place.
Right. Good
You know
night.
what I'm saying? So, like,
Damn, that's so heavy. All she wanted was the money. All he wanted was the box. But like General Muhammad said, that's where babies come from. You have sex with a woman, that's where babies come from. I don't know if y'all know that, but you know what I mean, you sleep with a prostitute and you know what I mean, you put your seed in her. That's A plus B, or you know what I mean, 1 plus 2 equals 3, or you know what I mean. It's you know what I mean, but and that's what you gonna do to that child. Not only you gonna put him through 18 years of hell, and he's gonna develop all these problems that Commander General Yohana's gonna have to fix. You know what I mean? These priests and prophets in Killeen, Texas, are gonna have to fix, and all these different cities all over the U.S. and all over the world, man. You're gonna create all these problems that we gonna have to fix down the line, man. And what you're gonna, you know what I mean, Lord forbid, but what you're going to 9 times out of 10 create is another brother or another sister that hates a sister that hates men, a brother that hates women and hates his father. You know what I mean? Where you know what I mean? He gonna grow up slapping women upside the head because he had to watch his mother for 18 years whore herself out for the love of money. You know what I mean? You had to see your father have nothing to do with you because to him you just a dollar. You know what I mean? You just, all right, I paid the bill. You know what I mean? You just a bill, and he feel like since he paid the bill, he don't have to be in your life, and he's not capable of being a father in the first place. What you're gonna do is create the same problems that created Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? Who knows what happened to Anthony Edwards? He was probably assaulted as or abused as a child. You know what I mean? He probably was. You know what I mean? Had some. You know, there ain't no telling what that brother or that sister had to go through. You know what I mean? That sister was probably assaulted as a child. You know what I mean? And by doing those things, being so selfish and careless in who we choose to be our, you know what I mean, the mothers and fathers of our children, we perpetually create the same slaves and the same destroyed and the same traumatized children that we were. You know what I mean? And it's all because of Willie Lynch right here. It's all because of your oppressor, man. You had that, was it any more than that? Go ahead, Slaki, you giving them, oh, no, so you go and finish that?
Read from the topic. The book of 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil,
The love of money is the root of all evil. You just saw it. Go ahead.
which while some covet after, that have erred for the faith
Uh-huh.
and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
That's just I believe that's what we just broke down a second ago. Slacky, sir, you was about to say something?
I get a brother read the scripture real quick. Proverbs 29, verse 2.
Let me see.
I just want to get on. See, this goes back to the Anthony Edwards topic, but I just want to let the world understand why this was written, so they can see the traumatic judgment of this. What it's gonna do to that child?
Right.
Cause see, everybody looking at Anthony Edwards, he's a good basketball player. Everybody looking at the mama like she's a great porn star, but nobody is thinking about that child. Everybody thinking about, oh, he got child support. I always told this to my baby mamas. I say, Salaki, I'm gonna say the B word. I say, B, that child support ain't like a father that in their life. Just remember that.
Right.
And I say, once they seek me out, you will understand what I meant by that.
Right.
Can you read that for me? If you got it.
God, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Listen, man. When we become, and listen to this, Israel, when we come into authority, the world is going to rejoice.
Right.
Everybody on this planet is going to rejoice because righteousness is ruling. Keep going.
Wakan. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
That is why Andy Edwards' child will be mourning. That is why every child that the woman was so hateful about towards the men, growing up these little monsters right now, due to the simple fact they rulership.
Right.
Due to the simple fact money rules everything. And that money is what's destroying us at the same time. And I just want y'all to realize this, man. When we get in rulership, the earth will rejoice if this is what you want. I ain't talking about no street block. I ain't talking about no corner. I ain't talking about selling no Zaza, none of that.
Right.
I'm talking about real rulership. You coming back to who you supposed to be, then let us rule this earth like it's supposed to be ruled. So that way it gonna be righteous. Because our mind ain't on extincting animals. Our mind's not going down to the bottom of the sea to see what's down there and extinct it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Our mind is making sure this earth is ran properly. Righteous and decency in order, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'll give him a hand. Let me get that. Let's go back to that. You was about to say something? Let me get back to that Titus. I believe it's Titus. What you was holding, Titus Akabar? Yeah, Titus 2. Real quick, we gonna read through this. So we done read through the result of choosing poorly. You know what I mean? Where you gonna destroy those children. You know what I mean? Once you choose poorly because, you know what I mean, this woman got a big old behind, or she got some big old breasts, or this, you know what I mean, this brother got some money, you know what I mean, or you got tattoos or whatever, you know what I mean? You choose poorly. We just seen the result of that. We just talked about that. Now we need to learn, you know what I mean? Now we need to learn how to choose properly so that we don't end up in these Cassie and Diddy situations. We don't end up in these Tory Lane and what's her name, Meg Thee Stallion situations. We don't end up in these Anthony Edward and whatever the hell that woman name is. You know what I mean, we don't end up in those type of situations. We need to learn how to choose properly. Go ahead and read that again from the top.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 2. That the aged man be sober, grave.
So this is for you sisters. This is how you choose a man. All right, go ahead, read that again.
That the aged man be sober.
Well, you should make sure he's not an alcoholic. That's the first thing. You know what I mean? It's probably not wise to choose your man that's you know what I mean, out the club. You know what I mean? It's probably not wise for you to just, you know what I mean, go up on the dance floor and whoever grinding on you behind you, now you take them into the bathroom and you know what I mean, do whatever God knows what to him. Because what you don't realize is sex is marriage. So that man that you just was, you know what I mean, that was behind you, that you took into the bathroom, sex is marriage. So you just made that man in the club your husband. You know what I mean? You don't know what kind of problems he got. Drug addict issues. You know what I mean? Because a lot of brothers and sisters don't realize that you know what I mean, that smoking weed is you a drug addict if you smoke weed. You know what I mean? A lot of our brothers and sisters don't realize that because it's not necessarily catching as many bodies as you know what I mean, stronger drugs like fentanyl, heroin, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, any of these stronger drugs that we give those the respect of calling them drugs, but we don't feel like smoking weed is a drug. You should pick a man that's sober. You know what I mean? Sober minded. Go ahead. Were you about to say something? Oh, slack it. Go ahead, read on.
Men to be sober, grave.
Grave means to be serious. You know what I mean? You got all these brothers, you know what I mean, doing these TikTok dances and all of that, and you know what I mean, that's their life. You know what I mean? Playing, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing wrong with, you know what I mean, having fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun, but the situation that we living in, we got to be a warrior. You know what I mean? The life that we live as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the condition that we in today, you need serious men who are going to stand on the business of the Lord, man. You need to go ahead, read on.
Grave,
Temperate, patient, man. You need a brother that's going. I believe that's what that word means. Temperate, right? Patient, or got discipline. You know what I mean, brother? You need a brother with discipline. You know what I mean? That ain't gonna be flying off the handle. That's not gonna you know what I mean? You go ahead and read that if you.
The definition of temperate, marked by moderation, such as keeping a head within limits.
So that goes back to the sobriety too. Not only is that talking about sober minded, but you know what I mean. Of course, it's lawful for you to have a drink or two. You know what I mean, but in moderation. You know what I mean, and there's nothing in the Bible that says that you can get high and smoke weed. But you know what I mean. You need a brother that's not gonna abuse anything. You know what I mean? Not gonna abuse substances, of course. Not gonna abuse alcohol. Not gonna abuse you know what I mean? There's so much you can abuse. You can abuse food. You know what I mean? If you don't eat in moderation and you know what I mean, drink in moderation. You know what I mean? Slack it. Go ahead and or you can go ahead and read the scripture.
sound in faith,
Uh-huh.
in charity, in patience.
All of those things are important as choosing a man, sister. And if you don't know how to choose a man, because most of y'all don't, and that's so much beauty and freedom and understanding that you don't know how to choose a man. You don't know how to make decisions. That's why you come up in here and allow the men of the Lord to make decisions for you. You know what I mean? You come up in here, you got to do 90 days where you can't, you know what I mean? You're not able to uh deal with you're not able to deal with your job on your 90 days is to come in here, shed yourself for the world and learn. That's your job. And then once you finish with your 90 days, you'll get a name. And even after that, you can't just sleep with any brother up in here. You can't just sleep with and talk to anybody you want. You know what I mean? You have to get permission from your camp leader to speak to a brother that you're interested in dealing with. You know what I mean? I know that sounds like hell and that sounds like prison to a lot of sisters, but in reality, that is freedom. That is freedom from yourself. Because if you're given to overmuch liberty, you will destroy yourself like you have in the past. Why you got all those baby fathers and all those children that hate you. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 3, the aged woman likewise,
Uh-huh.
that they be in behavior as becoming
We
holiness.
touched on this earlier today. This is for you brothers as well. You know what I mean? This is how you choose a woman. You know what I mean? You need to choose a woman that's separate. You know what I mean? According to these scriptures, that's separate from the world, that's separate from these other nations. No, she's not going to be easily influenced by the internet and what people doing on the internet, what people are doing in the club, what her single girlfriends got to say. You know what I mean? She's not gonna be easily influenced. She's gonna be holy. She's gonna be separate. Go ahead.
Not false accusers,
We talked about that false accusers where you didn't lied and said that this man is your baby father, and now he on child support, and then come to find out that ain't the baby's father. You know what I mean? Not false accusers. And if you look out and make sure that you don't get you a woman that'll just lie about anything, or just tell her, you know what I mean, tell half truths, you know what I mean? then you'll make sure that you don't end up in that type of situation where you gotta fight for a DNA test, or you gotta you know what I mean, you gotta raise a child potentially that ain't yours, or you gotta deal with a woman and then find out later that she done slept with everybody in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? That's a terrible, because once you sleep with her, that's your woman. But you gotta find out, you know what I mean? You walking up and down the street and you wondering why people looking at y'all funny and why they laughing at you, why they smirking at you, why she so friendly with everybody. It's cause she the neighborhood box. And she been passed around all through the neighborhood, and your thirsty behind couldn't just make a good decision and just wait. Uh, Go ahead.
Not giving too much wine.
And these sisters, you know what I mean, are capable of being alcoholics as well. You know what I mean? I know sisters, you know, they try to dress it up and make it look cute on TV with her, you know, brother, you know what I mean? They be drinking beer and whiskey and all of that. And then the sisters, they be having the glass of wine, and they make it look cute, but you could, you know what I mean? That sister can absolutely be an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Make sure you know what I mean. Make sure that sister got some self control. Because again, it's nothing wrong with having a drink, even for the sisters. But she can't. You know what I mean? You don't want to get you a sister that'll drink herself into a hole every night, and now she going upside your head for no damn reason. She going upside the kid's head for no damn reason. Or she getting drunk and getting knocked down by who the hell ever is available for the night, and the kids is in the next room just hearing all manner of hell that tail is catching. Go ahead, read on.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of good thing. Go ahead. This is talking about the this is talking about the sisters. You know what I mean? That's able to teach. Oh, go ahead, read on.
Verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober.
So you got to get you a woman that's got some abilities, like Proverbs 31. You know what I mean? That whole chapter is a woman telling her son to find you a woman that has abilities, that is able to, you know what I mean, that got some abilities that's going to make some money. You know what I mean? She's taking care of the household. She's going to buy land, and it's all for you. You know what I mean? She maintaining the household. She's raising the kids, and she got her homegirls and the younger women that's raised up around her. She taking care of them and teaching them, like we're reading right here. Go ahead, read it again.
That they may teach the young women to be sober.
So that she's able to teach the young women how to do what she's doing in Proverbs 31. She's able to teach them how to get this land, how to, you know what I mean, test the soil, see if it's good land or not. You know what I mean? How to sell these goods and services, how to make these garments and all of that. You know what I mean? How to keep this money, how to keep a husband. You know what I mean? That's how you choose a woman. Go ahead.
To love their husbands.
To do what?
To love their husbands.
To do what?
To love their husbands.
To love their husbands. See, you find every woman out here, and they hate. You ask them like, okay, so this is another question that you should ask any woman that you courting. Ask them about how their last relationship went. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna hear that woman hates her baby father. She's gonna hate her past relationship, and it's gonna be all their fault, that they did everything wrong and she ain't do nothing wrong. The mistake that she made was being stupid and choosing the wrong man. That's the only mistake that she made. So, like, sir, you about to say something?
Man, please, Baba Kasha. I just need to say this real quick. What you're bringing out is very heavy. And my thing is, when you touch on that Proverbs 31 woman, man, listen, that was before the Willie Lynch.
Right.
I want all the women to understand that. That was before Willie Lynch changed the psychological mind frame of your own brains.
Right.
That is before that. That is why they was never worried about getting the chicken, getting that money on, bringing it home, teach their kids how to get it, teach their sisters how to get it.
Right.
Why? They know how to get it. While we were out there being known at the gates, they was out there taking care of home.
Right.
Without no issues. You ain't had to hear about, when you get to the house, you got to hear about where you been, what you been doing. Baby, you hungry? Don't worry about it. You rub your feet. Your bath water already ready.
Right.
You want to take a shower or a bath? Let me know. I'll let out the bath water for you. You can take a shower. That is how it was supposed to be. Oh, baby, I think I got us a damn plan over here. Guess what I'm doing? I'm making the whole neighborhood, the whole nation some goddamn me clothes.
Right.
Damn, baby, that's what you're doing, man. Most of Christ, I got a lovely woman that loves me and understand my work.
Right.
And see, sisters, this is where we got to get to. This is where we trying to get y'all back to. Because now y'all money just y'all money. Now selfishness then happened after Willie Lynch to change all psychological mind frame.
Right. So give him a hand. No. Now what the priest just said was heavy, man. And that's like that we should definitely examine ourselves, man. Examine yourself, man. If this don't describe you, what we reading, and really examine yourself in honesty, because everybody think that they better than they really are. I'm just keeping a buck, man. Especially if you're not in the truth. You think that you know what I mean? I'm sure that sister in that picture that we put up, you know what I mean, taking that picture with her behind out with her 4 babies, having to see her naked mother all over social media. I'm sure that she think that she just the best mother in the world. I'm sure on Mother's Day, every mother that was receiving flowers, with you beating your kids upside the head with hammers and all of that, I'm sure you think that there's no flaw in your motherhood and your parenting abilities. But I want you to really examine yourself and just find out what kind of woman that you really are. You know what I mean? So that you can stop being that monster that's going to destroy those 4 babies. You know what I mean? And X amount in 10, 15, 20 years. It's like you, sir. You was about to.
Yeah, Shalaka, she shows setting a bad example in the next 3 to 4 years when the daughter grow up, it'll be the daughter right next to her showing her tail.
Good night. Good night. Give him a hand. Now, that was a heavy point as well, man, because the scriptures say train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. You know what I mean? We see our sisters being trained up to be whores. You know what I mean? To where now you can't even, like, a sister don't even feel uncomfortable being naked in public. You know what I mean? They don't even feel uncomfortable walking up and down 6th Street with the bottom of their booty cheeks just out. That should make that mother uncomfortable. Being on camera next to your child naked, that should make you uncomfortable and make you feel ashamed. But she got a big old Kool-Aid grin on her face as if nothing's wrong, man. And that's a lot of our sisters, man. And like the brother just said, that young daughter, she gonna be walking around, you know what I mean, just like her mother and think nothing's wrong with it because she was trained up in the way that she shouldn't go.
That's heavy that you brought that out, because growing up, like being in high school, middle school and stuff, they used to call it stuff called being exposed. When people used to get exposed and post pictures of people naked on the internet, now people are exposing their own self, putting their own self on the internet naked. People used to be ashamed to see their body on the internet and everybody seeing it. Right. In today's time, it's a highlight film. Back then it was a low light, but now it's just they highlighting it.
Damn, that's heavy. That's heavy. I forgot about that exposing. I forgot all about that. But that's absolutely true. And she gonna destroy those daughters, man. If you're not examining yourself according to what we read in Titus, the 2nd chapter, in Proverbs 31, and all the other scriptures we've been bringing out. What was you at? Let's go ahead and read the rest of these. Read the rest of this. We're gonna get up out of here.
Verse 5: to be discreet,
to have discretion, to be able to make decisions, and to be, you know what I mean, to cover yourself. You know what I mean, not to be exposed. You know what I mean, I believe those are the 2 definitions of discreet. I mean, to be able to make decisions, to have discretion, to be able to make wise decisions, and to also have yourself covered up. You're not showing yourself to the world. Go ahead, read on.
To chaste.
Chaste. I believe it's chaste. Is that the correct way to pronounce it? But that's going into the water. Let's look that word up as well. And go ahead, read on.
Chaste, keepers at home.
Keepers at home. There's a scripture in Ecclesiastes 26, and can't remember what verse, but it's Ecclesiastes 26 somewhere in there where it says that you don't want your woman to be a gatter abroad. A gatter abroad is just a woman that's most high Christ, the water chaste. Well, what does that word mean?
Innocent or unlawful sexual intercourse, celibate, pure in thought, severely simple in design or execution, austere, clean or spotless.
So conservative. Oh, Slocky, sir. Well, but you know what I mean. But Like in that scripture, it says, you don't want your woman to be a gatherer bride. You see now, like these sisters, you know what I mean, they taking that child support money we've been talking about after, you know what I mean, having all these baby daddies. You know what I mean, all these streams of income from they baby daddies. They going to these trips for no reason. A gather is somebody who just wanders aimlessly, just travels aimlessly. You know what I mean? You want to go, you just always want to be out. You always want to be somewhere for what? For no reason. The Proverbs 31 woman, she's going here to buy a field. She's going here to sell garments. She's going here to receive merchandise. She's going here to, you know what I mean, bring something home for her husband. But a gatherer abroad, you know what I mean, a woman that's just wandering aimlessly, she taking vacation to Cabo for the hell of it, just to be on a girls trip, just to be like, we out here on the boat doing what? You know what I mean? We on the island doing what? Like what are we doing here? Salakia. Keep us at home, you know what I mean? I don't want your woman to be out, you know what I mean, always in the club every single night, doing the same thing. We out here. Go ahead, Salakia.
Keepers at home,
Uh-huh.
good, obedient
Good.
to their own husbands,
Obedient to read that part again.
obedient,
Defiant.
obedient,
You gotta say your piece.
obedient,
No, you know better than your husband. Say it just like that, how you just said it.
obedient
You gotta be obedient. Get that brother a hand. Obedient to who?
to their own husbands.
To their own husbands. You know what I mean? Be obedient to that man that you done gave your body to. You know what I mean? Be obedient to him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You around here trying to be obedient to this man, and then you obedient in that bedroom. You know what I mean? You gotta be obedient to your own husband. Go ahead. And what you got?
It's like it's just a cramming that thought in my head. Like a lot of these, like you said, we said earlier, a lot of these sisters got these 6-figure jobs, or have a job, whatever. You know, they work for their oppressor. When they're on this job, man, they treat the oppressor. You know what I mean? Excellent. You know what I mean? Yes,
damn.
yes, sir. And yeah, what can I get you? You make me coffee for you, or you need me to do that report for you? Well, you need it right then and there. And then when you get home to your husband, that nigga, he get the shit. You know what I'm saying? He don't get all that treatment that he give that she could give that oppressor that's on that job. That just brought my attention when he read that crap. It's like you.
Now what you said was heavy. I ain't even think get out of here. You know what I mean? That was heavy because you know what I mean, and what's crazy about that is you ask a sister like why she could do that to you know what I mean, why she could be obedient to the boss but not obedient to that husband who you give your body and have children with, and they like, oh, cause he pay me. And that goes back to what we was just reading in First Timothy, the love of money. Because you love money, you put money above anything. You're gonna treat your husband like garbage. You're gonna treat the protector of your household and the person that's gonna raise your kids properly. You know what I mean? You're gonna treat the priests and prophets like garbage, and you're gonna go to that slave master and give him everything. It's like, so you want to say something before we? Okay, come. Most likely, go ahead. Finish that.
Obedient to
Uh-huh.
their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed.
See, what you got to realize is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the representation of the Most High God, man. We carry his name. We carry his reputation. That's why we call princes and princesses of the power. But you around here wearing the name of the Most High, but you walking around and treating your husband like garbage, you know what I mean? You choosing whores to just lay down with, you know what I mean? You blaspheme the name of the Most High God that way, man. I mean, so I pray, you know what I mean, pray that we was able to help brothers and sisters learn how to choose properly tonight, so that you don't end up in no Diddy and Cassie situation, no Meg Thee Stallion and what's his name, Tory Lanez situation, or these other relationships that, you know what I mean, end up in divorce or falling apart, end up on child support, end up abusing kids and all of that. What you got? Oh, with that, let's go ahead. Just want to remind everybody, like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. Like, share, subscribe, share with your loved ones, share with your family members, man, so that they can get this truth as well. And even if you're a heckler, share it with them hecklers. Let them get up in here and ask they silly questions so that we can crush them in front of the entire world. You know what I mean? And if you got any questions or comments, and we happen, you know what I mean, you might be watching this class live or not, and it's not live, then in that top right corner, you can scan that QR code and get in our chat. And morning, noon, and night, there'll be a brother in there to answer all your questions and solve all your problems. With that, We'll say I majim, which means to stand. Oh, Salaki, sir, what you was about to say something? With that, I'm gonna pass the class to Trooper Aitas Agabar with the security announcements. Get that brother a hand.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. New rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, which means tenth in Hebrew, Masharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will, offering for priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. Feast of Unleavened Bread, April 20th, 2025.
The Feast of First Fruits, like, is the next one.
Started after Feast of First Fruits, started after the Sabbath, unleavened bread, sundown. Sunday, April 20th, 2025. Count 50 days, celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Started before sundown. Book of Leviticus, chapter 28. Book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, scarf. Shalom, Israel. This is the security announcement.
With that, we say, I imagine we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Individual Majid Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yadi Matah, Sor. We're going to turn to face the sister, give a courtesy salute to the sister. Individual Majid Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yadi Matah. Bless